Hello everyone, Yachiwashi Games here, and welcome back to Star Wars The Old Republic with Dr. Ivo Robotnik, also known as Dr. Eggman, the Imperial Agent. Last we left off, we finished up with Drum and Cuss, and we got our very own ship, which I am promptly calling the Egg Carrier. Now, before we go on our mission, we have to talk to a Sith Lord named Darth Zorrid, who has taken over for Darth Jadus after he was taken out by some dissidents who don't like the Empire. But the first thing we gotta do is have a little chat with all three of our companions, HK, Treek, and Coolio. So let's start things off with Coolio.
So we're clear. Imperial rations are nasty, and I lived on grubs and 2-credit wine for a year. They raise you on those things. No wonder you're a bunch of stiffs.
You make it sound like you don't like the Imperial lifestyle.
Only time I kneel is to puke in the refresher. Here's what I don't get. You got a little brass, you got a little style. You're not totally one of them. But you still play keeper's pet. Shoot all the right people when you could work for... whoever.
I could point out that goes for you as well.
You mean you could avoid the question? Me? I'm in long enough to lay low, pick up some cash, sort out some personal stuff you guys can help with. Then I'm gone.
You don't walk out on Imperial intelligence.
When the time comes, try and stop me.
Oh, she's acting very sus. Super sus. Alright, our next companion is Treek.
I assume you've settled in?
Trana para vorar, na balale, na, aitan, sudi amamente mamani, abaka, vicheta karka vo be papatasi, son wicho ristatasita. Ano jo wicho, ajo pania Maria yoda, rokana kara reyam checheim, avadu kamya karechi. Amia, kasana, mam didarete tutujije, sudi antam panimbo putovam, e kanana babaji chokota.
Fly a starship? You can barely dress yourself. How did you reach the control panel? By sitting on a box?
Ekaviat, paki, ketichusa salat. Amia, kasana, mam didarete tutujije, sudi antam panimbo putovam, e kanana babaji chokota. Taraka, fitas no ne alfosi jameni, timana, davano ya bijakata la bala, dasta video, prastuto sechimisata.
You hunted down the entire crew over several nights. I bet those final logs were great. The furry thing is coming for us again.
Matato, eka garam anja gaji jagatom, smita sa timana anta. Akayam, opakaya kimata, samajika vasvaro da baharo chikichichia, kokasa hotom nati. Eka viatinia atarita la boveka jime, chimine karana kite jutoda mi mata, no bakora, anuni sala.
Since you aren't flying around the galaxy on your own, I assume you lost that starship you captured.
Modamate mukama, Dios te vihata hovena mondavimimai. Bilati dvara joveye, kama sinsikal jabania, agidado Korriban. Abijuta, batis yang ki ambesi semparka, gario grupo kashkaya.
Oh no. The final logs of those poor guys. Help us! The furry thing is coming for us again! Anyway, let's talk to someone who will answer to us without any question, HK.
Declaration. I have completed a full analysis of my functions, Master. I am ready to liquidate high-threat undesirables with a 100% efficiency, as the Maker intended.
My missions occasionally require assassination. You'll be a valuable asset.
Acknowledgement. I did not assume you reactivated me for my extensive cooking protocols, Master. though they are impeccable. Oath. While aboard your starship, I will maintain constant vigilance. You may rest easy here. Your absolute security occupies my every calculation.
Not everyone on this ship can be trusted. I'm counting on you to watch my back.
Compliance. No organic on this vessel poses even the slightest threat while I remain functional. I anticipate liquidating a great many undesirables in your service, Master.
So there we go. Those are the companions. Brief introduction to them and what their stories are going to be like. But now that that's out of the way, it's time we paid a visit to Darth Zorrid. So off to Korriban we go. Just to let you know, Korriban is basically where players who were playing as a Sith would start off. And as you know from part 1 and 2, the Hudda was our starting planet. So yeah, we've just arrived at Korriban. Now actually, I'm not going to restrict what companions I'll bring with me, so just for this moment, I'm actually going to open another wheel and put on the companions I have so far. Okay, tab. And I'm just going to open the wheel on my side. Not that. No, it's not that one. Is it this one? Yes, yes it is. So, basically, these are all the companions I have access to. This is basically something I'm going to do for the series, and that is let fate decide who I bring. So there's, excuse my spelling, Kaleo. Let me just make sure I got that right. You can shoot me in the foot if I haven't. Okay, just need to swap a few letters. Kaleo. Then we have, I'll just put 2V, which is 2VR8, our droid, followed up by Treek, HK47, as well as the Exobor. Oh, Shay. Shay's also on the list. Shay, Exobor, Droid, which stands for Isotope 5. We'll get into that later on. Oh, ISO 5R. Then we have the Naphima Beast. Again, we'll get into that later. We'll get into Naphima later on. Let's see, is that it? Is there more? No, there's no more. So, what I'll do, now that I finally have the ship, we'll spin the wheel to decide who is coming with us on every planet. And every time we get a new companion, they get added to the list. So let's spin the wheel to see who we're bringing to Korriban. We're bringing the furry creature, aka Treek.
See you.
Korba, you'll know Kochicha?
Now, normally I tend to bring story companions with me on this, but again, that's what most people tend to do on playthroughs, so I forgot to turn off the wheel, so before we go on, good thing I realized that. So yeah, before everything goes to hell, I thought I'd add, well, before I make mistakes anymore, I've decided to let fate decide who I bring. So, I'm not restricted to any companion. I'm restricting myself on playthroughs I'm doing off stream or off recording sessions. But otherwise, I want you all to have a completely unique experience. So, every companion can come with me on any planet. Basically, all you're missing is like specific dialogue options through different companions. You'll probably hear it later on. Now, when we arrive, we'll actually be seeing some cool looking Siths. Or some Sith apprentices who are just about leaving Korriban. Most likely, you will never see a bounty hunter on here unless they are friends with a Sith character. Otherwise, you'll mainly see Sith warriors, Sith inquisitors, and the occasional Imperial agent, if they're at this stage of the questline. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of Siths. And I think I just noticed an Imperial agent. Unless it's a Sith. No. Nope, they're a Sith. Never mind. Yeah, I just saw a companion I never saw before, so I thought they were an agent. So let's go and meet with Darth Jadus' daughter. Oh, we just saw a companion pass by that we haven't seen before. We'll get into this one. We'll get into that one on Alderaan, which is where we'll actually meet the character, but isn't story related. But anyway, going in to meet Darth Jadus' successor.
Look who made it all the way to Korriban. I think we have a visitor.
Yes, my lord.
Commander, I want to be informal with my bodyguards.
Ah, yes, Lady Zorrid.
Delightful. You, visitor, don't you find my bodyguards delightful?
I'm afraid I don't share your views.
Oh. How difficult it must be to live your life with so little taste. Delightful bodyguard, I have a request.
Yes, my lady?
Kill our visitor, please.
As you wish. He's as good as dead.
Oh, I hate her already. Let's just take these guys down. Loot this one because it's got green on it and it could be armor. And now we have to speak to Zorrid.
Oh, wonderful. My poor bodyguards. We haven't been introduced. I'm Darth Zorrid, Lord of the Dark Council and successor to Darth Jadus. I hear you're investigating my father's assassination. I wanted to see if you were worthy.
You tried to kill me.
I didn't try to kill you. I had my servants try to kill you. I could sense your feelings during the fight. I think you'll do nicely tracking these terrorists. But are you really sure that this eagle killed the mighty Darth Jadus?
If you have another theory, why don't you tell me?
I should make you crawl and beg for my wisdom. Later, perhaps. Jadus believed in spreading fear and anger to every corner of the Empire. He wished to share the ideals of the Sith. Perhaps his ambitions drew too much attention. Any one of his rivals on the Dark Council might have killed him.
You're his daughter. How did you feel about him?
Oh, I hated my father. He taught me to keep my emotions seething inside and show no one. I disobeyed. Chase after your terrorists. Save the lives of your Imperial friends. But if you learn who's really responsible, come to me. I've earned my place on the Dark Council, and I won't share my father's fate. Dismissed.
Nah, I don't like her. She already tried to kill me. Alright, going down. See? Good timing. At least now that that's out of the way, we can finally start off with our mission. Which is to stop the Eagle and his terror cell. Which is basically makes sense for Robotnik. He's going after some freedom fighters, which obviously he would see as enemies to his empire. Like, they would see themselves, like these guys, the Eagles people see themselves as freedom fighters, which is something our dear old friend Ivo does not like. So we just need to head onwards back to our ship. I don't know why I'm running when I could just be driving this. Boom. Problem solved. He'd just be vibing in his makeshift Eggmobile. Man, so many interesting characters. Back to the ship. Right, let's just get to our holo terminal, and then we can figure out where we go next.
This is Cipher 9 to headquarters. You have my target list.
Watcher 2 here. I've finished preliminary mapping of the Eagle's network. Your designated targets are terror cells located on Balmorra, near the Republic border, and on Nar Shaddaa in Hutt space.
I was expecting a few more than that.
We have other operatives handling the low-priority cells, but I expect your list to grow instead of shrink as we learn more. Contact me once you've arrived at either location, Cipher. Watcher 2 out.
Alright, so our options are Balmorra or Nar Shaddaa. If you're on the Republic side, you would be going to Taris instead of Balmorra. And then you would visit Balmorra on Chapter 2 of a Republic character. So, if we're thinking on that similar logic, we would be going to Taris later on in the next chapter. But anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn off the Nar Shaddaa mission off. Because we're not going there yet. We're starting things off with Balmorra. So let's just head there right now, because this is technically where you're meant to go first. You can go to Nar Shaddaa if you're wanting to, but Balmorra is normally the first planet Imperial players would go to.
Ikak na ho ino. Alakak nebo ramwa. Naya nam ramkam. Kala amkam mani. Lidik bak.
What's the situation?
Manuk maraka naja. Ki nawabam. Yak manala. Ham ino memnu. Naja naya amkam mimik meraka.
What are the terrorists doing here?
Rujakak. Young Kim Aliam.
Sorry about that, Cypher 9. Welcome to the Eastern Galactic Front. This whole star system is a crisis point. Republic and Empire are testing one another's strength. Meanwhile, the terrorists lurk in the middle.
So, to sum up, I'm walking into a war zone.
That's essentially correct. It can't be avoided, however. The Eagle's men are using the war as a cover for local activities. Balmorra is their training ground. Cell members recruit, instruct, and arm new terrorists here, fresh soldiers destined for other points in the network. It's a vital part of the system.
If Imperial intelligence is aware of this, why hasn't anything been done?
We knew of the Balmoran situation, but we didn't know the depth of the problem, and it didn't seem urgent at the time. To dismantle the terror cell there, you'll need local support. I'm alerting one of our officials to your presence. Lucerne Renald is the station chief in Sobrik, the Imperial settlement where you landed. He runs intelligence operations on Balmorra and can brief you more thoroughly.
Is there more I should know?
Renald runs his affairs out of the back of an arms dealership. He'll be waiting for you when you arrive. Move quickly on this one, Cypher 9, and watch what you say. If things go bad, you'll have half a planet gunning for you.
Alright. So we gotta speak with our contact down at Balmorra. However, that's not the only thing we'll be doing. As I mentioned in previous parts, I'm role-playing as Eggman, so I would be doing stuff that only he would do. I'm basically doing planetary missions of planets that only he would be involved in. This is one of those planets. So we'll be doing Tatooine, Balmorra. Spoiler alert, Tatooine is the next planet. But of course, a new planet means a new spin on the wheel of who we're bringing. So who are we bringing with us to Balmorra? We are bringing... We're bringing Anathema Beast with us. So, Treek, chill on the ship, because we're done with you for now.
Trixie Ziki, yeah!
So yeah, this is a nice unique approach I'm taking to the Old Republic, seeing as people usually bring their main companions with us. But I'm bringing all my companions. So we just need to find... Ah, here we go. I see our planetary guide, Captain Rigel. So if we speak to him, he starts the Balmorra planetary arc. Every planet in the class stories, in the main story, has one of these. It always has a story arc based around the planet. You may have saw a purple icon on Drummond Cass in one of the previous parts, where we infiltrated Lord Gratham's estate. That would have started the Drummond Cass planetary, where we would infiltrate the Revanite cult, which is a group dedicated to worshipping Revan, but I didn't think it suited the dear Doctor. But this is all about taking down the resistance on Balmorra, which I think suits Eggman just fine.
Agent, good to see the Empire's finest hitting up this bombed-out crater. Captain Rigel, Imperial Conquest Consolidation Corps. When the Empire invades, we're the ones who seal the deal. Don't suppose you're aware of the situation here on Balmorra?
I'm sure you'll fill me in.
The Empire invaded Balmorra in the last war, but we've been spinning our wheels in the mud ever since. Resistance fighters think they can drive the Empire off Balmorra. We're here to prove them wrong.
What does this have to do with me?
We want the best Sith agents and guns for hire in the galaxy to put this war down once and for all. The Balmoran government in exile, backed by Minister of Defense Vol Argen, is giving us fits, backing a strong faction of the Resistance. The Minister is safely off planet, but if we break his allies here, we break him. We break him, we break the Resistance.
What do you need me to do?
That's what I'm looking for. People who want to get things done. My second-in-command, Lieutenant Davril, is masterminding Phase 1 of what we like to call Operation Breaking Point. You'll find him in Sobrik. He's got plans to blow the Balmoran Resistance sky high. I think you'll like them.
Alright. So, welcome to Balmorra. The key story of this planet is that there's a resistance group that is fighting against the Empire. So after the First War... Hello? Who are you? And what's with your cool looking armor? Damn, I like your look. Anyway, before I get distracted by the fashion, before I become fashion police in this game, the main story of this planet is that there's a resistance group dedicated to forcing the Empire off its planet. However, during the end of the last war, Balmorra was given over to the Empire after the sacking of Coruscant, which is basically the event which ended the First War between the Republic and the Empire, with the Imperial victory because the Republic was forced to sign the treaty after they lost control of Coruscant. So yeah, Balmorra was one of those planets that was surrendered. But anyway, I'm sure we'll get more about the history of this planet soon. So let's talk to Lieutenant Davril.
Agent, I hope you're tough. I hope you like to get dirty. The battle for Balmorra can only be won with blood, sweat, and tears. Our sweat, their blood and tears. The government in exile, the resistance, cowards. We're going to bury them in their little hidey holes.
What's war without a little bloodshed?
I like how you think. The old government's sending generators to the resistance, powering their artillery. The resistance has given pardons to Balmorra's worst killers in exchange for a little guard duty. Phase 1 of Operation Breaking Point is to destroy those generators and put those killers to sleep. You in?
I can work with that.
The generators are in the Nibre warehouse. If you can blow them to pieces, you'll show the Balmorran resistance it takes more than cold-blooded killers to stop the Empire.
Alright, so we got generators to take down. But before we head onward to that, we also gotta meet our contact, which is also within Sobrik. So this is going to be fun. Ah, it's a fellow agent. Not as fashionable as the previous character we saw, but hey, whatever works for every player. This is a game where you can play as yourself, play as a specific character there to do specific things, play as Dr. Robotnik, because why not? Basically, just do what you want. Anyway, let's speak to Lekarin Reynold. There we go, Reynold.
Well, what have we here? Let me take a look at you. You're one of Keeper's boys, eh? I'm glad he finally sent someone. Pity it took a disaster to get headquarters' attention.
You sound like you're familiar with the director.
Oh, Keeper and I go back. I knew him before, well before he was Keeper. Wouldn't trust him if my life depended on it, though. I kid, of course. Keeper's a good sort. But here, I'm being a poor host. Have a drink. Settle in after your trip. This shop doesn't look like much, but it's secure.
Do you always imbibe on the job?
And I suppose you've never sat in a cantina with a glass of Luranian brandy hoping your cover hasn't been blown. Ours is a dangerous profession, Agent. We all find ways to take the edge off. But on to business. These terrorists you're after, they've been a thorn in my side for a long while. They're worse than the Republic in some ways.
So they're not working with the Republic?
This terror cell is homegrown, made up of Balmorrans unhappy with the Empire's rule. I suspect the Republic tacitly supports the terrorists. We're their common enemy. So we do our best to cope with the bombings and sabotage.
I suppose you just sit back and wait for their attacks.
Don't be absurd. The terrorists don't announce their plans in advance, so there's little we can do. The governor makes an example of a few dozen Balmorrans after each attack, but it doesn't have much of an effect. Meanwhile, I've been studying the terror cell's structure, and there's good news. If we can take out the local leader, the cell should fall apart.
What do we know about this person?
The terrorists call the man in charge Grey Star. He runs the cell, gives the orders, and knows all the secrets. They claim Grey Star used to work with the Eagle, but who can be sure? Only the high-ranking cell members know Grey Star's identity.
Do you have any theories about Grey Star?
I don't need more theories, I need proof. I have a mole inside the terrorist cell already. He's a good lad. No cipher, though. He can bring you in. You'd have the opportunity to impress the terrorists, win their trust.
Win their trust, then shoot them. Got it.
Just don't forget to find Grey Star before the shooting starts, eh? Sanju Pine, my operative, can introduce you to the terrorist recruiters at the Troida military workshop outside the safe zone. But be careful how you present yourself. If the terrorists suspect you're Imperial, you'll lose Grey Star. And your lives.
Okay, so this is one of the key things for the Imperial Agent storyline. Going undercover. And, I'm not dressed for undercover work, so, I'm gonna need to do a quick outfit change. But what I'm gonna do instead of, and that's partially why I have this second slot. So I'll just slap on the goggles, just so Eggman keeps those signature goggles on. And I need something undercover related. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly drip him out. Basically, mainly change the chest piece because it's not like formal military. Boom. I'll just give him I'll give him the full skiff armor set, apart from the hands and, well, apart from the hands. And the goggles. Gotta play the part, don't I? It's a key thing with the agent. And if Eggman's technically acting as the agent, he's gonna need to play the part sometimes. Now, I'm gonna quickly clear all this out, apart from the goggles, in case I ever need to change again. And I'll just give him the cast blaster, because it looks less techy than what he currently has. Don't worry, you'll mainly be seeing him in that other outfit when time goes by, but right now we're acting undercover, so we can't really be... We're being undercover as a resistance, a civilian unhappy with the Empire, so yeah, we don't want to be like formal military set. So we'll quickly go and see the resistance group first, as they're closest, and then we'll go and do that planetary mission. So, yeah. There we go. The reason we're going to see the resistance group first is because they're right here. And bringing an Anathema Beast might actually solve the problem, because we won't have an ally to accidentally blow our cover. You know, roleplay-wise.
Don't waste my time, Sanju. You're lucky to even be here.
I got you those scramblers, didn't I? Come on, Kemish, you owe me. Maybe not big time, but you owe me.
When's the last time you did an operation for us?
What? Come on, we've been over this.
Grey Star didn't send out a call for cowards, and neither did the Eagle. Do you think...
Hey, someone finally made it. It's great to meet you in person. This is the group I was telling you about. I think you'll get along with them real well. Better than I do, hopefully.
I've been looking forward to meeting your friends.
Kemish, this is the guy who got in touch with me after the Eagles broadcast. Said he wanted to join us.
Uh-huh. Sanju says you fought the Imperials at Druckenwell. Says the Empire has a bounty on your head. Is all that real? You some ace killer looking to get the Empire off Balmorra?
You think I don't live up to my reputation?
Maybe I do. Can you blame me? My name's Kemish. These people here, they follow Grey Star, our founder. They've been spat on, starved, and punished by the Empire. Now you're not from Balmorra. You haven't been through what they've been through. Makes me wonder how far I can trust you.
What makes you judge and jury around here?
See these cybernetics? Earned them after an Imperial soldier threw me to the torture droids because I looked threatening when I was 18.
Damn. Kemish, I never realized you...
Sure, Sanju. So, yeah, I've earned respect around here. I've earned Grey Star's trust. You've got a long way to go. Look, I don't have a problem finding people for sabotage and suicide runs. But real soldiers, they're harder to find. So, take a job, show you're useful, then we'll talk.
You got my attention. What's the job?
There's an abandoned factory not far from here. Used to make droids, but its defenses went haywire when the Empire took over. Place is swarming with rogue security units. It's also full of expensive equipment. Get inside, and there's something I want.
What if the place is locked down too tight?
If you don't think you're up for it, I can shoot you here and now. Wouldn't bother me a bit. The Okara droid factory produced shielded power cores for stealth droids. I want a case for my people. My people can convert the cores into explosives, plant them around an enemy base, and thanks to the stealth shielding, no one will know until it's too late.
Sounds nasty, but sometimes nasty is what gets the job done.
Let's be upfront. This is a test, so if you fail, don't bother coming back. We'll just kill you.
Good luck. And be careful. The factory's a nasty place.
Okay. So we've already gone on our mission. and that's to head to the droid factory. But we're not gonna head there just yet, as, again, planetary mission is just around the corner. And I'm gonna do that first, then hand that in, so we can get to the droid factory area, which is where our next destination is. So yeah. Now, what I'm wearing is kind of temporary. I might actually make, like, an armor set based off of one of Eggman's mechs. Like, the ones he would wear when he's a boss fight in other games. But that's just a thought I had. Right now, this is what we're dealing with. One part I don't like about this is that there's a bonus mission which requires us to kill some resistance killers and criminals and that. But of course, most players always tend to get to them first, so... yeah. So I'm just gonna take these guys out, and while we're waiting for some to respawn, I'm actually gonna show you something. If I can just get through this. There we go. So, you see this lift right here. Most people would just not bother with it on the first playthrough. But if you actually go up here, well, other than two enemies, you'll actually find a door, and behind that door is a datacron. This is probably one of the ones where you need like 2 people to do it, because there are 2 doors on this side, and I would think that you would need to do it at roughly the same time. I'm not going to do it. I have already gotten that datacron, personally. But yeah, in case, like, if you haven't gotten that specific datacron, that's where you would find it. Well, I guess we might as well just destroy these, and hopefully the remaining few we need will actually respawn soon. And there's a lore object, so grab that for some minor bonus XP. There we go, there's some resistance convicts. Let's take them down. Once we've taken down enough, we'll report to Lieutenant Davril. And them's the breaks. We just need 4 more now, so... Have the ones at the door respawned? Yes, they have. Yeah, they really need to add, like, more of these types of enemies. Well, more resistance convicts, because there isn't really enough. Let me see if we can find one on the way back. If not, I'll just turn around quickly. Because if I remember correctly, there might be one on the outside. Oh, no, we gained the attention of the siege guards. Okay, we're gonna head back quickly before, like, they all end up dead again. Unless these guys, no. We're heading back. Hopefully there are some survivors. Yes, there are. That's perfectly good. I'm gonna have to steal one from these guys at the very least. And I'll let this guy have the rest. Because I'm not the type to steal kills for a bonus mission. Just at least help them progress a bit. But now that that's out of the way, let's fast travel back to Sobrik. So we can speak with Lieutenant Davriel. And we can sort everything else out here. I'm just gonna back away a bit because there seems to be an RP event going on. Oh damn, it's that cool looking guy. That must have been while he was there. I wonder what's going on. Anyway, let's continue this mission. Well, finish
Must have been
this one off.
imagining things, but I could have sworn I heard those generators go pop from here. Good work, but it looks like the resistance isn't done yet.
I will hunt down each and every member of the Resistance if I have to.
Good to hear you say it. Used to be we kept the Resistance in check in the wilds, but now they've started to get bolder. They're attacking Imperial holdings in the old Balmoran industrial area. We need to punish their boldness. Lieutenant Thorpe at Markaran Outpost has some ideas about how to put the Resistance back in their place.
So yeah, we're gonna head to the industrial area next, which is where we would find the Korriban droid factory. But actually, this is where we're gonna call it for now. I hope you enjoyed this part of Star Wars: The Old Republic, either Robotnik Edition. If you want to add characters to my eventual next playthrough, feel free to leave them below in the comment section. And liking and subscribing goes a long way to let me know you're enjoying the content. Also, what else was I going to say? Well, yeah. Also, I hope you have a lovely day, afternoon, and evening. And, as always, I shall see you all later.